Hello. Excuse me. This is George Prince, and George Prince, your online coach, mentor, supporter, sponsor, all the above. And I just wanted to shoot a quick video here, and just basically to maybe I've said this before, maybe I haven't, but and I have expressed my real desire to see you guys being really successful, to really meet the dreams, to meet the goal, to meet the destiny, to meet what you have set out to succeed. There's no reason to be even on the internet. There's no reason to be even alive if you're not reaching to a specific goal. And honestly, the goal isn't all about making money. You've got to realize that making money is only a tool to accomplish the goal. Everything revolves around money, and you can't get all wrapped up in that. You got to remain focused on what you set out to do. You know, a lot of people, they get up in the morning, they go to a 9-to-5 job, and after a while they just forget living. And they go from swinging from one opportunity, they swing from another salesman and another con job. This is the greatest thing, and it will get you what you want, and they appeal to that, and it's nothing. The greatest thing that I can give you guys, the thing that I mean, you've got to realize that I was in that same position. Yes, I was in that same position, but you know something? I learned something that I thought I was unique in. And my experience is unique, of course, but the results are still the same. You go to any leader, you go to any successor out there, you go to any multi-million-dollar earner out there, and they will always harp back to a point where it changed for them. And you know when that changed is when I changed. When I changed, it says, you know what? I mean, it's not like I went through life miserable. It's not like I went through life always striving and never accomplishing. There were times I failed. But, you know, it was always a goal. The goal was always to help more people, to be able to have the same kind of change that I had. And I was like, I was telling my lower enlisted, you know, I said, I wasn't this way before. I was a timid guy. I was a guy who hid behind mother's skirts. I was a guy who didn't even want to talk to people. And it's not, you know, it was just a personal choice that I made and everything. I mean, it just never even felt right to me and everything. I changed when, you know, years ago. I mean, I got in the Army and around a lot of people, but guess what? I didn't just give up and say, hey, I can't handle this. I wanted, you know, we joined the Army, we wanted to do our patriotic duty, but, you know, I had to go through a development. That's my story, basically. Everyone's different. Everyone comes to a point in their life where they see and they make that change. Mine was in 2008 during basic training when I was so sick, when I realized how determined I was to get a specific thing. At that moment, it was to go through basic training, which, you know, is really easy, especially at Fort Jackson. But I was sick. I was utterly sick. It just, everybody gets sick. But it was me, and I was determined to go on and on and on, but soon I just couldn't go on no matter how much bloody determination I had. And finally, I was in a hospital bed, and you know, pale and everything. Everybody thought, I'm not going to make it. You know, when everybody's brought to that point, sometimes it's close to death. Sometimes there isn't an ounce of strength left in you, and you realize, you know what? This isn't everything. What you were so focused on, well, what becomes so important to you is nothing. And then when you go back and you realize, you know, you're stripped of that, and you just, you know, this is who I am. This is what I realized, you know. And I was realizing, you know, I was really a negative person. Very, very, very negative. But you know what? I realized at the time, I said, you know what? I'm bringing negative things on me. I'm causing situations that are outside my control to negatively impact me, to be a negative environment around you. So many people say, hey, deal that damn hand you dealt. And then, you know, point the finger at someone else. This situation, that person, this. No. It was just me. It was me. And I realized how powerful that was at that time when I was just absolutely coming to the end of it on my bed, on my bed and everything. And I never seen inside a hospital, and they're putting all kinds of antibiotics and everything. It was just like utter hell for a week or two. But that's what it took for me. It really did, and that's what turned it around. And that is what everybody comes to a certain point, and that is what it was for me. It took that point where I had nothing left, and I realized this is what I was doing, and then I completely made that switch around within, and began to go into the path of the positive, the path of the hopeful. And I didn't even realize I wasn't doing that. And I says, if this is what I'm doing, causing this, basically just slowly but killing myself, and had that turn around and say, what, this is what I can do. This is, I don't have to go on this way. And sure enough, situations around me that had nothing to do with me influencing them changed. That's what you guys may or may not realize. When you have changed, when you stop struggling, when you just let go, when you say, this is not something that is made to be. I still have challenges that come up, but you know what I'd say? I say, it's not all it's blown up to bleed. I don't get carried away with it. I just say, you know what? It's not going to be that way. The moment I get into this situation, it's not the horror stories that people before me have gone through, whatever it is. It's that way. I've walked this way for well over, maybe it's been I've been in the Army 6 years, and about the year I was in, whatever. It's been a number of years I've walked this new path. And it's kind of late in life to realize it, but you that many years in the wrong aspect of it, how could you change? But I look back and I changed. I am now developed from a timid person who never would talk, a negative person, have completely made the opposite, complete change. Now, if I can realize that, if I can see that happens in leaders and people, and that is why they take off, because that is what their goals is. They have a goal in mind, and the money, whatever tools they need, follow. So that's what I wanted to give you guys. I don't know how to make it any more plainer to you guys, but there's a lot of truth in these motivational videos and everything, and I thought I realized this on my own, but a lot of people have, and I want you guys to be able to see it, to be able to live it. I'm honored to look back and say, I was not but less than a month ago, or maybe a little over a month now, where I was the guy looking and saying, how in the world does anybody do this? And I was part of the 97% that failed. I didn't spend thousands of dollars, I did it smartly, and I never went into debt, but it still was a failure. If you boil it down to it, I failed. But you know what? I learned a lot. And that's what I kept my focus on. I always was learning. And I rose in my small little way, to be a top earner in this company, to be the one who brings the recruiter, whatever. And, the thing is I know you guys can be so as well. I know you guys have it in you. And all I'm here to do is direct you to that. I give you tools. I give you ways for content marketing, gives you ways, whatever. And it's absolutely amazing the kind of results that you're going to get. There is there's no comparison. It is life-changing, and you know why all these leaders harp back to a different time, because that is what made the most impact on it. And that's why I harp to it. I could go into a long video, a blow-by-blow description, but I'm just going to the points that make the most sense. So that's the thing, is that you guys, everybody is successful in their own unique way. That I can't make it any clearer that way. You are in control of your success, basically. And that you can't keep pushing it off and saying, it's this guy, it's this situation, I can't do it, I can't because of years ago, or this and this plagues me and that plagues me. You keep thinking that and you will not, you just might as well call it finished. That's it. I've seen people transform from a pile of mush, coming to this realization and stepping into their power and realizing, you know what, this is what it's all about. And everything else falls into place. It really does. And that is what the most precious thing I can pass on to you. And it leads into the physical aspect too. Determination, physical. I mean, you just see some of my pictures. I'm not fat, I'm not overweight, I'm not obese, but I don't have genes to do that apparently. But I sure as hell don't let, I can't do this or I can't do that affect me. It doesn't. Everybody is absolutely surprised at my age because I don't listen to it. It doesn't make any difference. I need to do something, I do it. I always do. So anyway, that's what I wanted to give you guys. I hope this video hasn't taken too long, and and you can make your own testimonies along this regard. And I invite you guys to make videos. I never made videos, but I just had this to say to you guys, and it's the most valuable thing that I could pass on to you. So I want you guys to have a very good night, and and apply this. And in your own right, I can't tell you how you can apply it in your own case. I can help you, but that is something you have to do. I had to do it. Leaders have to do it. They come to this on their own terms. I know the time for you is now. Is that time. So have a good night. Good day.